Jian to start with the serves. Zheng Jian, for me, is one of the most unsung heroes of Singapore. A very solid player that nobody wants to have to play in the draw. But after Yu Mengyu's incredible Olympic performance and Feng Tianwei's incredible career, Zheng Jian sometimes goes a bit less noticed. Hina Hayata, the former leading lady for Japan, after missing the WTT champions in Macau and the cup finals in Xinjiang, just so many points up for grabs, meaning that her world ranking takes a sore bruising after that. Still, world top 6, so only down one spot, but again, a lot of points there in October. Quick, clean step around. Now, one thing about Hina Hayata's game, her serve and receive is very quick and very versatile. In the short game, she can use side spin better than almost anyone in the game. And look at this step around attack after the receive. No side spin needed, just perfect placement. Shuts down Zheng Jian. Got a change of heart there. You could see Zheng Jian waiting to attack, but had to play passively from the baseline instead. Ooh, that fluid backhand from Hayata. So first towel break here. It's funny, from different camera angles, the table looks to be different shapes. If you use feet, 5x9 feet, if you're on the metric system, congratulations. It's very useful. I'm sure Google could tell you what 5x9 feet is quite quickly. A tight serve, that high toss. In case you're newer to table tennis, the higher the toss, the more speed the ball has when it's contacted, so it's tougher to control. You can generate more spin, can generate more speed, and you can also cause more confusion for the opponent because it's a little tougher to read, tougher to see the actual contact, just because it doesn't sit as long on the racket. That step around, how many times for Hina Hayata? It is her bread and butter. She's just warming up. First time in some time we've seen the forehand not come down on the table. For me, the service toss just sort of carried back behind the line, sending Hina Hayata a little bit away from the table. It's one of the dangers of a high toss serve. Zheng Jian clean, a step behind the table, but moves in and out well, as we've seen. Good coverage of the middle there. The shorter of the two players, Zheng Jian. Top edge of the racket for Hina Hayata. You can hear the difference in sound when it's not contacted cleanly. Sometimes the ball will still go where intended. Hina Hayata is actually here with her mom. I don't know if that's her emotional support human. You're allowed to take those on planes now, by the way. So Zheng Jian up by 2 on the receive here. Step around, catches a little bit of the edge, but she's been playing him right on the line. Bottle challenge serve, good coverage of the middle. For a player with a hurt or previously hurt upper left arm, it seems like that could be dangerous. I mean, she really does get a lot of whip on that forehand. 2 quick points here for the 22-year-old Hina Hayata. Perfectly placed into the middle. Oh, nothing to be done about this one. It felt like Hina Hayata took the chance. It paid off that she made an aggressive receive. And Zheng Jian was right there, not surprised at all, for the down-the-line winner. Good pressure on the step around here now. 2 game points for Zheng Jian. Transition from the middle. Zheng Jian is outstanding. Anything Hina Hayata can do to hit it past her on the deep backhand or wide forehand. There it is, corner to corner, stretching her out. It's not going to be easy. It's going to have to be surprising in the placement, quick. Still a few shots more than anyone would want to have to deal with on Hina Hayata's side in this rally. Big backhand to follow up on the serve, top and side spin on the shovel serve. Still, the job is not done, but 2 game points saved, and now here we are at deuce. Three in a row, 1 more to go. Hina Hayata. Remember, Hina Hayata is 4-2 in their head-to-head. I'll get you specifics on that shortly. And that is it from 8-10 down, 4 points in a row, and Hina Hayata takes game number 1. We'll be back for game number 2 with Zheng Jian and Hina Hayata right after this.
Hayata from Japan to serve. Love all.
Players back for game number 2. Zheng Jian had her toes on the finish line of game number 1, but had not yet crossed, and Hina Hayata took full advantage.
One love.
Tight pendulum serve here for the first point for Hayata to continue 5 in a row. Ripping forehand right into the arm of Zheng Jian. We did see a head shot earlier today, but again, the open eye, pretty much the only problem other than someone making a quick neck movement or twisting.
Love 2.
That step around is such a thing of beauty, a work of art as she works around that corner. Feet only just for a moment planted so briefly. And the backhand on the cover as well, the reaction time. I mean, we see the muscles working on these players out here. We see the athleticism involved, but the speed to be in position all the time. Good placement there from Zheng Jian into the middle. Hina Hayata, the tallest player I can think of currently playing for Japan. Previously maybe Yui Hamamoto. And actually Miwa Harimoto, who just recently beat Mima Ito internally in Japan. Pretty crazy, considering Miwa's what, 14 now? So first towel break here, Hina Hayata continuing to dominate ever since 8-10 down in game number 1. We don't see long serves too often at the professional level. About 80% of the serves are half long. Some players getting a little bit more gutsy and risky. And there's a good time for it here. Obviously, Hina Hayata has been quite strong in the receive game, so Zheng Jian just trying to keep her opponent guessing. Good low spin shot there, a lot of work from Zheng Jian. And a gift, a little souvenir there, omiyage from Hina Hayata. So 3 of the last 4 points to Zheng Jian. As fast as Hina Hayata is in the rallies, Zheng Jian very smooth in her transition.
5-6.
Now, fun fact, these two, in their last 2 encounters, Hina Hayata has won them both. They were both best of 7. Hina Hayata won 4-0 and 4-1. It's in 2018 and in 2019. Rockstar assistant umpire at the moment. Rachel Ramos, pride of the Philippines, taking care of the cleaning for a moment. Whatever the job calls for. Humble, hardworking, that's Rachel Ramos.
7-5.
So the Zheng Jian fan club in the crowd too. Again, the taller player, Hina Hayata, has more work to do to cover the middle. You could see how far she had to lean there to create a forehand out of that shot that appeared to be perfectly placed. Deep on the table, Zheng Jian. Ooh, second time this game. We've seen more service gifts so far in this event than usual, no doubt about it. But in this game specifically, shovel serve, side top, just catching the net.
8-7.
And a half-long serve here, Zheng Jian back in front.
Set. 8-7.
Trying to make her way back into the table. Hina Hayata started that point well. Little fun fact, you could hear that sound, the table being hit by the racket on Hina Hayata's receive. No problem, as long as it doesn't break the racket. It's all part of the point. And as long as your free hand does not touch the table, it's legal. You're also not supposed to move the playing surface. Zheng Jian with the positioning on this one. It sure wasn't power. It was simply spin and placement there. Surprise, surprise. Ball sits up a little bit. Hina Hayata just the top of the net now. 3 game points to Zheng Jian. But this one, very well calculated here as Hayata comes through to save a game point. Still 2 more to go for her opponent.
Set. 10-8.
And Zheng Jian secures game number 2, taking it back and forth throughout, but it's tied up at 1 game apiece. Hina Hayata and Zheng Jian, Japan versus Singapore, game 3 coming up right after this.
Game, Zheng Jian to serve. Love all.
Players back to the table for game 3. Hina Hayata, first event back after missing 2 major events. Tied up at 1-1. Zheng Jian with the momentum here. Aggressive play inside the table, but well anticipated and well reacted to. Zheng Jian counters back quickly. Beautiful forehand, quick and wide as can be. In the tight game, Hina Hayata adding on that little extra bit of top spin to secure the shot coming down. Man, it's impressive and it's crazy to me that Zheng Jian can wait so patiently there to block. Hina Hayata quickly getting it out of reach though, forcing her opponent to swing.
5-1.
Perfectly played right to the baseline in the middle. Hayata increasing her chances of putting pressure on and winning the point. And down the line, a runaway score line so far, but still only about halfway through the game. Potentially anyway. And a little help there off the top of the net, a little fortune to go with all the favor so far. Good pressure on the parallel here. Second point for Zheng Jian. Oh, cross-court backhand rather. From the second angle, quite clear to see.
8-2.
Heavy rotation, no problem for Zheng Jian. Perfect read, closes the racket and counters back. On the step around nonetheless. Wow, was that a perfect shot. as fluid as can be. Once again, that very wristy backhand from Hina Hayata. Ball loaded with spin. And then the follow-up, she's right there. Zheng Jian, it's like a penalty kick. Just has to guess and commit to sides.
3-10.
So 7 game points for Hina Hayata, the 3rd seed in this event.
10-4.
So with 6 game points left, just a little bit of table maintenance there. Heavy push, heavy underspin from Zheng Jian, and perfectly read on the other side. It's Hina Hayata who takes the game. So a 2-1 lead for Japan's Hina Hayata. We'll be back for game 4 with Zheng Jian of Singapore and Hina Hayata of Japan right after this.
Fourth game, Hayata, Japan to serve. Love all.
Players back to the table for game number 4. It's Hina Hayata with the serves leading 2-1.
Love 1.
But a good start here from Zheng Jian after being quite steadily controlled 11-4 in the last game. Little warning for Hina Hayata to remove the free hand or free arm so that Zheng Jian can see the ball all the way from the point of tossing to the point of contact.
2-love.
It's one of the most key rules in table tennis on the serve that is often in question. Good power from Hina Hayata right down the middle of the table. Coach Jin Jun Hong on the Singapore side.
2-all.
A little tough to catch the specifics, but you will hear reminders. Coaching is allowed as long as the ball is not in play. Has been for the past 6 years now, since the Olympic Games in 2016.
2-3.
Now in the women's game, we see a lot of quick play. Hina Hayata, an incredible amount of power. Usually it's more about speed. We see longer rallies. But Hina Hayata with a very physical game as a taller player. Very whippy, fast, spinny strokes.
3-all.
She's been dangerous and was recently number 5 in the world.
3. All. Five, 4.
Little acknowledgement there, Fortune, Hina Hayata. Sometimes the serve comes off the racket, off the edge, catches the near edge of the table, something to make things a little bit unusual that wasn't intentional.
Let 5, 4.
And a heavy spin from Hayata for the point. Zheng Jian having trouble with the timing as this ball jumps up. Slow spinning one, very shallow on the table, just behind the net. Funny, people newer to the sport often say, what are they apologizing for? Why are they so polite? I feel like at this level of play, almost everything you see is intentional. We've got a timeout now on Zheng Jian's side. I was going to say that almost everything you see is intentional. On the rare occasion someone wins a point with anything that's not intentional, they consider it a bit of luck and acknowledge that. So each player is allowed a timeout once per match, in a singles match, that is. Coach Daisuke Ishida has been around the world with table tennis, lived in Sweden, if I recall correctly. His English actually some of the best on the Japanese team. So on any timeout, no matter who calls the timeout, both players have a chance to talk to their coach. The advantage of calling the timeout is, one, you get to decide when you use it, and two, you get to decide when it's over if you want to end it before 1 minute runs out. So in theory, you could call timeout, and then as soon as the player starts walking towards the coach, go, nah, just kidding, and come back to the table and psych out your opponent. Don't see that so much at the professional level, but in local clubs, all the time. Okay, maybe not all the time, but when I'm playing. Anyway. Zheng Jian with the first point out of the timeout makes it a 2-point game. Interesting, interesting. Now with their head-to-head, Hina Hayata's likely to save a timeout. After all, she should be confident. She's only dropped 1 game in their last 9 played, at least before today. That said, she is coming back from injury. Missed the 2 biggest events on the WTT calendar in October. So 4 points in a row out of the timeout for Zheng Jian. Seems to be real comfortable on the step around. Confident in every shot. The recovery's as quick as can be. That's the thing, it doesn't always have to be a big shot. You can be playing with placement and precision just to make the opponent uncomfortable. Plenty of points won over the years, some of the most memorable points that appeared to be effortless from the opponent.
7-10.
Well, now 6 points in a row. Zheng Jian with 3 game points of her own here. See, heavy side and topspin given right back with the spin that came in. You could see the logo on the ball.
10-8.
1 game point saved. Hina Hayata in the first was down 8-10. Bottle challenge serve right at the baseline and then parallel the other way. A lot of work for a point, but Hina Hayata hangs in there. 1 more game point saved. That's 2. Zheng Jian with no timeouts left. That backhand from Hina Hayata. Very efficient stroke. Third game point here for Zheng Jian. And takes care of business. The kick serve. Fast and long. 11-9. The plot thickens here. It is now 2 games apiece. Hina Hayata's got a bit more work on her plate before it's time for dessert, which would be the round of 8, the quarterfinals. The winner here looking to play the winner of the last match, Du Hoi Kim. Stick around. Game number 5 coming right up.
Time. Fifth game, Zheng Jian to serve. Love all.
That better have been a table tennis game on that cell phone. Game 5 here to start.
Love 1.
Good receive to start off game 5 after a tough finish for Hina Hayata. Oh, what feeling. Zheng Jian dropping that ball. Looked like a chop block. Sure we'll have a chance to see here. Sure is. Wow, heavy side, and what else is on it? Probably just side from the looks of it.
2-1.
At least mostly. It seems like almost nothing is just pure spin at this level. Top spin, underspin, okay. But on a chop block, a whole lot of side.
1-3.
Now, one thing about the backhand in the women's game that makes it so common is, one, that it's a compact stroke, it's quicker to recover from, but 2, it's easier to take out in front. Takes less time.
1-4.
But Hayata doing a good job here with the forehand to play it out in front early as well. Backhand, watch the forehand. Just a quick short stroke.
4-2.
When you have top spin coming in, you don't need as much of a backswing because you're already going to get more power on your shot. The ball accelerates into your racket and therefore bounces off it faster than if it were underspin. Underspin will make the ball go straight down off your racket.
Red.
Force you to put
4-2.
energy in to lift and keep the ball out of the net.
5-2.
Solid start here from Hina Hayata, but again, nothing is safe. We saw the comeback. 4-8 down. No, 4-7 down, rather. Last game when the timeout was called. And Zheng Jian winning 6 in a row. So Hina Hayata is going to work for some extra padding on the scoreboard here, socially distance herself from the opponent, despite a bit more freedom here in Thailand.
2-7.
Good control there. All started with that sort of side spinny forehand flick from Zheng Jian.
8-3.
The top edge of the racket, and it's back in Hayata's court. At least the points, scoreboard wise. Good patience on the receive. Bottle challenge serve not bothering Zheng Jian. Second towel break. Zheng Jian wants none of that business. Says, nope, I'm good right here. Focused in the zone.
4-9.
With that dangling serve, Hina Hayata able to put extra pressure on, keeping it low to the net. Heavy top spin.
9-5.
Could it be Zheng Jian? She's been dangerous in the comebacks. Hina Hayata just 2 points away from a 3-2 lead. How fast that ball looks.
7-9.
Imagine what it looks like from Zheng Jian's point of view. It's one of the most amazing things. These players in the practice hall are incredibly fast, but in the match, they don't know where the ball's going. It's completely random.
8-9.
Zheng Jian's getting close. Danger, Hayata. Still trying to calm herself, stay positive, Hina Hayata. First time I've seen side spin introduced like this from Hina Hayata. Tries for a strawberry. I mean, she's incredible with the strawberry flick in general, but it hasn't come down. Little cleaning, please. Some room service over here. Table service, I guess, rather. Zheng Jian lightly asking, as she does. China fan club over here. We see you. It's amazing. Absolute celebrities and superstars in China. Fans follow their players around the world. It wasn't long ago that this looked like a runaway game for Hina Hayata. 9-6 and now 4 in a row for Zheng Jian. Last game was quite a devastating comeback out of the timeout. It's now game point for Zheng Jian. Half-long kick serve. Hina Hayata saves a game point. Deuce in game number 5. Heavy spin on the backhand, and now Hina Hayata with a game point of her own. This is a best of 7, but that 3-2 advantage would sure be handy for whoever can grab it first. Oh, change of pace, the slow play. Zheng Jian can't believe that one got away. And it's Hina Hayata with a narrow escape in game 5. 3-2 she leads. We'll be back for game number 6 with Japan versus Singapore. Hina Hayata versus Zheng Jian right after this.
Time. Six games. Hayata, Japan to serve. Love all.
Zheng Jian with her back against the ropes here, down 2-3 in games. It's Hina Hayata 1 game away from a quarterfinal place.
One love.
Little Bob Marley being sung by the umpire there. Heavy spin on this one, low, shallow, everything that makes it tough for an opponent. Hina Hayata from a tough place. Off the net, nonetheless. That ball was just above table height when she hit it.
1-2. Let. 1-2.
A blast of a forehand on this one. Hayata's going to be quite focused here. No lead has been safe. The last 2 games, Zheng Jian has come back from quite a distance down.
3-2.
First towel break here, Hina Hayata up by 2. Just barely in front. As a spectator, it's nerve-wracking, but it's also perfect because anything could happen, and we know that. Zheng Jian is keeping us watching on the edge of our seats.
Let. 2-4.
Wow.
3-4.
I was still marveling at how comfortable Hina Hayata was off the backhand in this rally. That one right there. Everything, and then the power, and Zheng Jian closes the racket, turns around on that ball, steps around for the forehand like nobody's business.
4-all.
Two quick points there for Zheng Jian. Second time, and this time Hina Hayata holds up the shield, gets there, gets ready, and guides it out to the open table, and nobody's home. Leave a note, we'll deliver the packer. Wait. Deliver the package later. There goes the highlight. Good times. Look at this. Blasted and blocked right back to the opposite corner with perfection. Hina Hayata. Fist clinched. Point for point they go. It's a game of catch me if you can, changing your patterns, trying to keep yourself unpredictable. So many different elements in table tennis that are amazing for the brain.
5-6.
And of course the physical workout. A nice benefit, a nice perk that comes with it. Second towel break here. It's funny, we don't see quite as many matches best of 7 during the year for WTT. You'd have to make it to the semifinals to play a best of 7 match, but here at the Asian Cup, all matches are best of 7, meaning first player to win 4 games. A little bit more of a marathon than a sprint. Perfectly anticipated. Zheng Jian doesn't move. Would have been natural to just start to lean towards that backhand corner to cover right there. And Zheng Jian's in perfect position to come back and counter with the forehand. Spinning parallel. It's the backhand of Hayata to tie it up. What just happened here? Zheng Jian getting an outright point on serve. Could have been the length. Again, different angles reveal different elements of the point. Coverage from the middle and a bit off the net, and Zheng Jian looking to send this to game 7, just 2 points away from doing that. That's the one that catches the net. Again, table tennis, a game of rhythm. That slightest change can cause a big disruption.
7-10.
And now 3 game points for Zheng Jian to send this to game number 7. Time for some healthy snacks and beverages, and tell your friends where they need to be. The decider, game number 7. Only one will survive. Zheng Jian and Hina Hayata duke it out in the decider right after this.
Last game, Zheng Jian to serve. Love all.
Here it is, the final game of the match, game number 7, to determine who becomes a spectator and who makes more money and gets more points. A lot of points up for grabs here. The quarterfinals awaits the winner of this game. Ooh, fired up now, Zheng Jian. It's nice to be able to have that energy for the last lap. In the darkness there, Coach Jing Junhong. fast as can be with that backhand. Beautiful step around here. Hayata turns from the middle to play the forehand on the parallel. Tight serve, gets a lukewarm opening backhand from Zheng Jian, and ever since then, never lets go of the steering wheel in this point. Now, Zheng Jian has been a lot of things in this match. Resilient, relentless, and really consistent with those short bounce shots right on top of the bounce. She's been smooth near the table. But Hayata corner to corner. The quality in both of those shots, especially the first one, set up a winner for the second. Zheng Jian still coming down, no time to get fully back. You can feel the legs, the exhaustion, the fatigue on the side of Zheng Jian being tested and run around the backcourt. They will switch sides of the table here as one player has 5 points in the deciding game. It was all that one to the middle that forced Zheng Jian to get that right leg out of the way. It's interesting to see the different outfits that umpires wear, depending on the events that they're umpiring for. WTT's got its own style. The backhand inside the table, Hayata. Just 1 point closer. Again, this match has been topsy-turvy. It's been quite curvy throughout in terms of plot twists. Zheng Jian, will we see it? Is the comeback within reach? Zheng Jian. But the touch play, Hina Hayata edging herself closer to that finish line, just 3 points away. It's been a much tougher road than recent history would have suggested.
9-2.
Remember, Hina Hayata had only dropped 1 game in their last 2 matches, both of which were best of 7s. Total. And now it is 8 match points for Hina Hayata to move on through to get her battle with Du Hoi Kim. Long way to go still. Alive here, Zheng Jian. 1 match point saved.
That's 3-10.
Oh, and after all the work, it is Hina Hayata who comes out on top 11-3. Absolute domination in game number 7. A match well played by Zheng Jian, but back and in action, Hina Hayata. The world has been waiting, and we'll be excited to see you continue on. A very solid performance from the 3rd seed, world number 6, Hina Hayata. Scores on screen after a fairly convincing win by Zheng Jian in game number 6, 11-7. It was 11-3 in the decider. Hina Hayata, look at the scores on screen. The close ones, the deuce